as I'm connecting with people, I am looking for marketers. I'm looking for, engineers or operators, bringing those people together and learning what they need, and then sending out, messages and looking for, what do we have in common? And so that community that I built, all of those different connections and relationships I built, was so that I could understand the pump and equipment industry, but then also how could I help them? How could I use marketing? How could I use advertising to help someone who's working on equipment or someone who is selling equipment? And so that's a very different world than what I currently do today. But advertising sales taught me that people buy from you if they know, like, and trust you. Okay, so if we're focused on building relationships in person, you're going to think about how you show up. When you go in, I went to a lot of trade shows, so I would dress my part. I'd have my power suit on. I'd always, come up hopefully pleasant when I'm asking people what to do. And that is the same type of personal brand that I want to show online. And so I feel like sometimes it's easier to do that online through social media than it is in person for some, and vice versa. And so you really have to think about what type of brand you want to put out into the market and be true to that. So once you have this and you're making connections, you have to be intentional. You have to be looking for somebody that you think that you can actually add value to them and receive value. These are the best connections. That's why I love what we're doing here. I am a woman of faith, and so I love any time that we can combine both our work with our passions and our faith. So as I worked for the last 16 years in a male-dominated space, I found that I love the industry. I love that pumps and water, they're vital to life. We have to have this equipment. We have to have these people to give us clean water. But when I was in the industry trying to kind of lead in that, I felt like I was in this constant state of change without a support group. And so most recently, as I was trying to lead within a room full of engineers or the C-suite, I was surrounded by men, and I love men. So let me say that. But I wasn't effective. So I wanted to say, okay, how can I get these skills that would help me be more effective in what I'm trying to accomplish, which is to change the world, right? Our world, in this world, to make it easier for people to create change in water infrastructure or, getting their new technologies across to the utilities, et cetera. And so I looked around and there were no women at the top I could talk to about this struggle, because my career, I was in a male-dominated space, and I never noticed it. I was just doing my job. I was out there. I was, bebopping around the trade show booths, having this time of collecting information. But it wasn't until I was pushing back and trying to create change, which a lot of you will know, once you do this, you get a lot of pushback, and you have to know what your values are. You have to know what you're trying to accomplish and to know your why. What is your purpose? And it all comes down to that why. And a lot of the times people ask me now, because I'm doing a conference and community called Empowering Women in Industry. And they say, why? Why am I empowering women? Why not empower men? And I would say, I am a woman, so I feel like I have a little bit of say there of how to empower these women. But I also would say that it's important. If you look at everything from, how people get water, and a lot of the times women and children have to kind of put their career aspirations, or not even if they have, just life aspirations, to go get our water. And so my purpose has been, yes, to connect and build relationships with people, to sell advertising and marketing, and that's one element of it. And I still love to do that. But I also love to see that I can affect change by listening to my connections and my relationships that I've built, and saying there's a need for women to have education for the tools, not just me. I didn't come up with that all by myself, but this group of women can then influence and make our tables more diverse. And so I start with women and empower women and give them authority and the voice through my media channel.